There's a new train in town.
Boston's long-lost train is finally making a comeback. For decades, southeastern Massachusetts was left without rail service, its tracks abandoned as highways took precedence. Now, after years of setbacks and delays, the long-awaited South Coast Rail is finally here, promising faster commutes, stronger regional connections, and new economic opportunities. But what did it take to bring this vision to life? And could this revival spark a broader shift in American rail travel? Let's dive in. But before we start, we need your support. This is our brand new railway channel, and we're on track to hit 2,000 subscribers. If you're passionate about rail infrastructure and transit updates, hit that subscribe button and stay in the loop. Your support fuels this journey. Thank you. On March 24th, 2025, New Bedford, Massachusetts, witnessed a transformative moment as the South Coast Rail project roared to life, restoring passenger rail service to the region for the first time in nearly 7 decades. The inaugural train, part of the MBTA's Fall River New Bedford line, pulled out of New Bedford Station at 4:27 a.m., its horn blaring to signal the start of a new chapter for a city long disconnected from Boston by rail. A ribbon-cutting ceremony at Taunton Depot set the stage on Monday morning, where local leaders and residents gathered to celebrate the launch, emphasizing its role in building a better T and fostering regional equity. Hours earlier, in the pre-dawn of New Bedford, more than 100 people assembled at the station, braving the cold to witness history in motion. As the inaugural train pulled away, anticipation turned to elation. Cheers erupted. For some, it was the fulfillment of a long-held dream. For others, it was a long-overdue reconnection to a transit past they thought was lost. But this revival is more than just a train. It's a symbol of renewed connectivity, economic opportunity, and the shifting future of American rail. This new route offers a direct, approximately 90-minute journey to South Station, weaving through key stops such as Church Street Station in New Bedford, Freetown, East Taunton, and Middleborough before linking with the broader commuter rail network. To encourage ridership, all trips will be free through the end of March, with additional fare-free service on weekends through April. This expansion extends the Middleborough-Lakeville line to Taunton, New Bedford, and Fall River, an essential step in reconnecting these communities to Greater Boston. Once service begins, the line will officially be renamed the Fall River New Bedford Line, reflecting its expanded reach. Service frequency is designed to maximize accessibility. On weekdays, trains will run every 70 minutes, with 32 direct trips between South Station and the South Coast, 15 serving Fall River and 17 serving New Bedford. Weekend service will include 26 total trips, with trains operating every 2 hours, ensuring reliable transit access throughout the region. Bringing rail service back to the South Coast was anything but easy. Originally proposed in the late 1980s, what seemed like a straightforward infrastructure project quickly became a decades-long struggle against funding shortages, environmental concerns, and shifting political priorities. When first envisioned in 1989, planners estimated that trains could be running within 10 years. Instead, financial constraints and bureaucratic delays stalled progress almost immediately. From 1997 to 2024, politicians set at least 9 different deadlines. Each one missed, as the cost of the project ballooned from $136 million to $1.1 billion. Despite setbacks, the early 2000s brought renewed momentum. Feasibility studies reaffirmed the project's viability, and community support remained strong. However, securing funding proved to be an ongoing challenge, while environmental regulations added further delays. Since the rail line passes through sensitive wetlands, mitigation efforts, including wildlife crossings and noise barriers, became necessary, increasing both costs and construction time. Political uncertainty further complicated matters. The project spanned 6 U.S. presidents, 7 governors, and multiple local administrations, each with shifting transportation priorities. At times, South Coast Rail seemed on the verge of collapse, only to be revived by new studies and revised plans. The final design, which utilizes portions of the Middleborough-Lakeville line, was a compromise aimed at keeping costs manageable. Even so, critics continue to question whether the benefits justify the decades of investment. Beyond funding and environmental challenges, construction posed logistical hurdles. The The project required major upgrades to existing infrastructure, 6 new stations, and coordination between the MBTA, the U.S. Department of Transportation, and various local agencies. Even in the final months before launch, test runs and federal approvals were closely scrutinized, with the official start date hinging on last-minute confirmations. While service has now begun, South Coast Rail remains incomplete. Phase 2, which would introduce electrified service and increase frequency, has yet to be funded and won't be implemented until at least 2030. In the meantime, concerns linger over the MBTA's ability to maintain reliable operations, given its history of system-wide breakdowns and service disruptions. Another significant challenge is ridership uncertainty. Changing commuting patterns in the wake of the pandemic have impacted transit systems nationwide. The decline in daily commuters already led to the cancellation of the Boston-New Bedford bus service in 2023 due to dwindling passengers. In 2022, South Coast Rail spokesperson estimated that the new rail service would attract around 1,610 daily riders from Fall River and New Bedford. Whether the train will meet or exceed these expectations, or struggle with underwhelming demand, remains an open question. For now, however, the return of rail service is a victory for those who fought for it. The first day of operations ran smoothly, but the real test will come as the line faces the demands of daily commuting and the long-term sustainability of public transit investment. Despite the challenges, South Coast Rail promises substantial benefits for residents, the economy, and the environment. Its return marks a transformative step for the region, with long-term growth on the horizon. One of the most immediate benefits is accessibility. For cities like New Bedford and Fall River, the rail line provides a reliable alternative to car travel, particularly during rush hour when congestion on routes 24 and I-93 can dramatically extend travel times. The new service gives commuters a consistent, time-saving option for reaching jobs, schools, and cultural attractions in Greater Boston. With an expected daily ridership of around 2,000 people, the service aims to alleviate pressure on overburdened highways. Economically, the rail line is expected to revitalize the South Coast by linking residents to Boston's job market, increasing tourism, and driving new investment. Local leaders anticipate a boost in visitors to New Bedford's whaling heritage sites and Fall River's maritime attractions. Businesses along the route stand to benefit, particularly with the MBTA offering free fares during the initial rollout. Over time, improved transit connectivity may attract new residents and development, helping to counter decades of economic stagnation in these former industrial hubs. The project also supports environmental sustainability by reducing car dependency. Fewer vehicles on the road mean lower greenhouse gas emissions and less strain on highways, aligning with broader climate goals. Additionally, eco-friendly design elements, such as tunnels for eastern box turtles, demonstrate a commitment to balancing transit expansion with conservation efforts. Looking ahead, the next phase, Phase 2, aims to amplify these benefits. Though not yet funded, it would extend electrified service via the Stoughton line through Easton, Raynham, and Taunton, connecting to the current branches. The electric locomotives, which can accelerate and decelerate faster than diesel ones, would shave 11 minutes off the trip to South Station and would be cheaper to operate. The future route would include 2 more stops in central Boston, Ruggles and Back Bay, with likely travel times from New Bedford of around 69 and 73 minutes based on current schedules. It's still too early to accurately estimate the cost for the full build, Fox said, but the MBTA pegged it at more than $3 billion in 2018. Electrification is an important long-term goal for the MBTA. Some opinions said that the agency should wait to see how ridership on Phase 1 goes before having a conversation about electrifying South Coast Rail. In the meantime, it's more important for the MBTA to focus on electrifying its existing routes than to build new ones. However, Day 1's success signals a promising start to a long-awaited journey. What do you think? Will this new service revolutionize commuting in the region, or will challenges like delays, costs, and changing travel habits hold it back? And the potential for Phase 2? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The new 8000 series DC Metro train is set to redefine nearly 50 years of history. Years in the making, this game-changer promises a smoother, smarter ride. What does it mean for the region, and how will it revolutionize the DC Metro system? Let's explore what sets this series apart. the economic benefits it brings, and the challenges it faces. Metro has partnered with Hitachi Rail to bring the 8000 series trains to life. Production is underway at Hitachi's $70 million factory in Hagerstown, Maryland, a facility launched in 2022 to bolster American rail and create local jobs. The initial order covers 256 cars, with the option to scale up to 800 if funding permits. The $2.2 billion contract, signed in 2021, targets late 2025 for the first pilot car's delivery, followed by testing in 2026 and a full rollout by 2027. Last year, from March 20 to April 3, 2024, Metro displayed mock-ups on the National Mall, offering a glimpse of what's to come. Hitachi has since refined the design based on rider input, with January 2025 renderings showcasing wider aisles and spaces for bikes and wheelchairs. The Hagerstown plan is steadily advancing, but the trains aren't track-ready yet. For now, progress hinges on securing funds and sticking to the production schedule, keeping DC's transit future in a holding pattern worth watching. The DC Metro, launched in 1976, is showing its age. Its current roster has clocked decades of wear. The 2000 and 3000 series, dating back to the 1980s, are hitting their 40-year lifespan, plagued by breakdowns and outdated tech. The 7000 series, rolled out in 2015, was a step up but stumbled hard, such as the 2021 Blue Line derailment that exposed wheel defects, sidelining hundreds of cars for months. Pre-pandemic, Metro hauled over 600,000 riders daily. Today, it's closer to 300,000, but the region's population, over 6 million, keeps growing. Aging tracks, power systems, and trains can't keep up with demand or modern expectations. Past incidents, like the 1996 Shady Grove crash or the 2009 Red Line collision, exposed vulnerabilities in older cars and control systems. Meanwhile, riders gripe about cramped cars, spotty service, and a system that feels stuck in the past. The 8000 series isn't just a replacement, it's a lifeline to drag Metro into the 21st century, especially as cities nationwide rethink rail amid climate and congestion crises. Without it, DC risks falling behind. The 8000 series could be a transit triumph if it delivers. Each car pair offers 130 seats, packed with modern features. Regenerative braking for efficiency, digital screens flashing journey updates, onboard Wi-Fi, smart doors that sense blockages, high-definition security cameras, revamped ventilation, and heated floors to warm, chilly commutes. The design ups the ante with roomier seats, wider aisles, and dedicated spaces for bikes, luggage, and wheelchairs. Open passageways between cars, a first for Metro, promise smoother passenger flow. These open gangways boost space by up to 20%, letting more bodies pack in during rush hour, vital for lines like the red or blue, where sardine can commutes are the norm. That means fewer folks left stranded on platforms from Rosslyn to Rockville. Economically, the DC 8000 series is a booster shot. Hagerstown, Maryland, landed a high-speed ticket to economic growth, and it's all thanks to the future of transit. The city, located about 70 miles west of Washington, D.C., is now home to a brand-new, state-of-the-art facility that will produce up to 800 of the D.C. Metro's 8000 series trains, a project that promises up to 1,300 new jobs. This isn't just a factory, it's a game-changer for both the region's economy and the future of public transit. To understand how significant this facility is for Hagerstown, we need to take a step back in time. Hagerstown was once home to the Fairchild Aircraft Company, a mighty industrial force during and after World War II. The company produced iconic aircraft, including the A-10 attack aircraft, and played a key role in wartime technology. The pride in this manufacturing legacy is still felt by the community today. But in 1984, when the last A-10 aircraft was delivered, Fairchild closed its doors, and with it, a chapter in Hagerstown's industrial history came to an end. The city then faced decades of economic decline as other local industries faltered, leaving Hagerstown grappling with high poverty rates and social challenges. Fast forward to today, located on undeveloped land just 8 miles from the former Fairchild plane. This $70 million Hitachi rail plant is a seamless extension of the developments that have been happening here for decades. The plant is a symbol of economic rebirth for Hagerstown, providing the city a chance to reinvent itself with cutting-edge technology and manufacturing. The city's location, at the crossroads of Interstate 70 and 81, makes it an ideal hub for a major rail manufacturing facility, and Metro specifically chose the site to deliver a much-needed economic boost. This isn't just about producing 8,000 series trains, it's about creating a new era of innovation in a city that once led the charge in aircraft technology. Maryland's Department of Commerce estimates that the factory will create at least 1,300 new jobs, many of them likely to be filled by the children and grandchildren of the people who worked at Fairchild decades ago. It's a full-circle moment, a return to manufacturing, but this time with rail cars rather than airplanes. The factory's economic impact goes beyond job creation. The 8,000 series trains, designed to modernize the aging Metro fleet, will bring technological innovation to the region. For Hagerstown, the D.C. Metro 8000 series train factory represents more than just economic recovery. It's about legacy and innovation coming together, building a future that honors the city's proud manufacturing history while securing its place in the high-tech industries of tomorrow. Though the sentiment is high and positive, Metro still has to overcome some hurdles. The $2.2 billion price tag sounds steep, and Metro's budget is already a house of cards. Federal dollars help, but D.C., Maryland, and Virginia must split the bill, and regional squabbles over cash are practically a Metro tradition. Just securing a funding agreement took years of negotiations, and any shifts in political priorities could threaten long-term commitments. Inflation has already jacked up costs since the 8,000 series contract was announced in 2021. Just look at Silver Line Phase 2, which ballooned past $3 billion before finally opening. A single delay or overrun could spark taxpayer backlash, especially if it forces Metro to dip into an operating budget that's already running a deficit. With ridership still below pre-pandemic levels and fare revenue struggling to keep up, Metro is walking a fine line between upgrading its fleet and keeping the lights on. Production is another challenge. Hitachi's Hagerstown factory is on track, but supply chain ghosts still linger. Post-COVID chip shortages have disrupted industries across the board, and the complexity of railcar manufacturing means even a minor part delay could snowball into months of setbacks. If that late 2025 pilot car slips into 2026 or beyond, Metro could find itself in a tight spot, juggling an aging fleet and maintenance headaches. Quality is a wild card. The memory of the 7000 series wheel defect debacle still stings. Those trains were Metro's pride and joy until safety failures sidelined the entire fleet. Hitachi's new facility may be state-of-the-art, but scaling up production from a brand new factory comes with its own risks. Any serious defect in the 8000 series rollout would torpedo public confidence just when Metro needs a win. A rocky launch could also force Metro to keep its older trains in service longer, which means higher maintenance costs and more headaches for riders. Thanks for tuning in today, everyone. Subscribe and we will see you next time.